kick to the gut.
I like it.
Yo, happy Monday if you're watching this on YouTube, the premiere. If you're listening to this on, Spotify or Apple Podcasts, whatever. Happy whatever day it is lah. It's Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building. How are you, Mr. Young?
I'm doing all right. I need to know how you are. Are you recovering from the big C?
I mean, I'm smiling through the pain, bro. I'm smiling through the body.
This is not the
body chills.
This is not the power of positivity that we want. As in, we don't need this kind of positivity.
No. I mean, yes, I rather not test positive. This is this and HIV. I rather not test positive for either one.
Alamak. Wow, there are a lot of other things as well. But bro, just get well soon, okay? Yeah, sending you lots of good vibes, good health, and stuff like that. But
thanks, brother.
As always, thank you so much for joining us here on the podcast, on the YouTube channel as well. Kick to the gut. If you haven't already checked us out, usually we do a live stream, but today a little bit different because in just a bit we're going to talk to a special guest, and he has a movie out in cinemas right now. He's a movie star, bro.
Bro, movie star, entrepreneur, businessman, pro wrestler. I don't know, man. Like, what are we doing with our lives, bro? Come on.
Yo, when you hear about the hustle that he's putting in, you're going to feel very lazy about yourself. Okay, but no, you'll be inspired to go and hustle as well. Shaukat is joining us on the show. Shaukat from APAC Wrestling from across the border over in Malaysia. Yes, he has a new movie and it's out in cinemas right now here in Singapore called Gila Gusti.
Yes, bro. Gila Gusti, bro. Crazy about wrestling, WrestleManiac. There's a lot of meanings, but the point is, if you love wrestling, you're a pro wrestling fan, you should check it out, man. Definitely.
Absolutely. And I would like to think that everyone who is listening to the podcast, watching this right now, is a pro wrestling fan. If not, you must be here for Foreign's beautiful mustache.
Bro, it gets more luscious by the day, bro.
Oh, yeah, so luscious. My God. So are we going for like Tyler Bate sort of a mustache, a mustache mountain? What's going on here, man?
I don't know, man. Maybe going for Rick Root. Rick Root. I see whether I can go there.
Okay, not bad. I know chat usually thirsts over Foreign's mustache. And perhaps they're doing so in chat right now.
I'm pretty sure it's just Edison, but thanks, bro.
Okay, we're here to talk about pro wrestling. Before we do anything, as always, we'd like to remind you that we do have a Patreon page set up. So if you want to support us in, that kind of a way, you want to take your support to the next level, hey, we appreciate all the support. Just being here is great for us already, sharing, spreading the word. But also, like I said, if you want to take it to the next level, we have several tiers of Patreon support with benefits as well.
Yeah, man. Guys, we did a commentary for Grapple Max recently. Yeah. For the main event of the show, if you want to hear Mr. Young and Foreign lay the verbal smackdown on that show, please check it out as well over there. That's exclusive for our Patreon members as well.
I love it. And we're going to definitely dump in even more content, WWE 2K22 content. Yeah, some video gaming action. About maybe after WrestleMania. Let's let things settle down a bit because there's just a lot. Okay, the weird thing is, right? I was just about to say, bro, there's so much to talk about as it relates to WrestleMania. But then I think about it, it's like, and this is a good segue, I think, into, this road to WrestleMania, right? It also feels like there's nothing happening.
It's like everything is really prepared.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, their idea is we have the headliners. Everything else is okay lah. No need to build any story. They're all headline matches already. Why? Doesn't it feel like
WrestleMania a bit of like a smooth ride lah?
Too smooth? Okay, I see what they're doing, and I guess we're gonna jump into this week's content and shows, right? On the WWE side of things, like. As it relates to building up to WrestleMania, there haven't been that many twists and turns. Like, okay, so we got the big one, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. And of course, next week when we do our preview of WrestleMania, we'll go into more like in-depth stuff. But as it is, it's like, okay lah, like it doesn't matter what they do in the next 2 weeks. Like the hype is there already.
Yeah, the problem is, right, actually, I would disagree. Like, the matches are set, but the hype is not there. Okay. There's only one segment from the whole of WWE this past week that helped me build up hype for a match that I really want to see, which is Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. You know which segment I'm talking about, right?
The tearing the door out, that one.
Tearing the door out, running over vehicular manslaughter, all that lah.
True. But I mean, even all that, right? Like, I don't know, maybe it's because we've seen it before. That's why I always am a very strong supporter of don't throw everything out there, so that when it does happen, when the crazy shit happens, it means something. AEW, please pay attention. Tony Khan, please pay attention. Young Bucks, please pay attention. Anyway, coming back to this, yes, Brock, Roman, big headlining match. We're already looking forward to, and maybe that's the problem, because there's nothing that can throw a spanner in the works at this point. You know that match is set, so it's like, okay lah, anything in between is them just working towards the match.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's a one match card.
No.
There's actually a lot of matches that I think might surprise people.
Okay.
Yeah. So for example, I low-key and excited to see Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory.
Well, this is all on Pat McAfee, you have to think. Because Austin Theory, he in the ring, he's a prodigy. We all agree to that, right?
Yep.
On the mic, he's been all right. He's getting there. But Pat McAfee on the mic is just pure fire. And we remember this from his NXT thing with Adam Cole.
Yeah. And Pat McAfee, he a bit small market lah.
Yeah.
He a bit small market, because I think he's a natural in this wrestling thing.
Yeah, on the mic.
On the mic, for sure, definitely. And he has proven that he can deliver in the ring as well.
Yeah.
So why are you putting one of your most charismatic people on commentary? You know?
Yeah, well, to get the rub, and I don't think he wants to, have a full-time gig as well. So this is a perfect solution for him, I think. And to WWE's credit, smart for them to just sign him, have him there. He's there as the voice, the charismatic guy. And then once in a while, if you need to throw him in the ring, also can.
Are you saying he's this generation's Jerry Lawler then?
Oh gosh, no. Maybe yes. That's
the wrestler that is in commentary but can defend the honor of their commentator anytime they want.
But that's weird, because here's the thing: he's also a celebrity outside of being a wrestler. You see, Jerry Lawler was a celebrity only in the wrestling sense. Pat McAfee is straight up he's everything, which is great for them. He is a celebrity outside of pro wrestling. He loves pro wrestling. He can wrestle. He can talk his ass off. And it's obvious he grew up loving the business and he respects the business and stuff like that. So yeah, you're right. It's low key one of my matches I really want to see.
Yeah, and I feel the great thing about this spot, right, is that he brings in the eyes outside of WWE. Like you said, he is a mainstream star in the US, right?
Well,
with his sports background.
Isn't that Johnny Knoxville and Logan Paul's job also?
Yep. So apparently, there has been bill for Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
This past weekend on SmackDown as well.
Hey, Sami Zayn is getting more
bro.
Yeah. Oh, the match itself, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they obviously had to kind of make it that. If not, what are they going to wrestle? Johnny Knoxville can't wrestle, so it's going to be I smash you on the head with a trash can lid. It's going to be a garbage match, which is fine. It makes sense, right?
For who they are, especially as being jackasses, right?
Yeah.
My question is, what kind of crazy ass style are you going to do? Is he going to jump higher than Shane McMahon or what?
I don't know. Maybe Sami Zayn will be the one who, because he is the worker. So maybe he's the one who does the thing. It's funny too, because they're doing a lot of nonsensical, viral marketing in a way that, didn't he put out Sami Zayn's phone number?
Oh, is it? Yeah. I saw something. Didn't one of our people in our Discord say that they tried to call or FaceTime him?
They actually called him and they got through. It's probably a recorded message, you know what I mean? But it's still it's this sort of viral guerrilla marketing sort of thing that I don't know if WWE came out with it or was it a Johnny Knoxville thing? Because it seems like a very Johnny Knoxville thing.
We say it's a pretty new way to hype up a match, the way they're hyping it up.
Okay, yes, in that it's interesting because it hasn't been done in WWE before, but it has been done in other mediums before.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah. But I think maybe that's what it is right now in WWE. They are kind of trying to embrace new trends and styles, ways of modernizing how they market a match. Yeah,
so like we said before, WWE is in the business of entertainment more so than pro wrestling at this point. So it's become so obvious, especially with this year's WrestleMania, right? Good or bad, well, that's up to you to decide, So the other thing on SmackDown, since it's fresh in my mind, Ronda Rousey getting put through a table by Charlotte. Is it just me or is it very obvious what's going to happen at WrestleMania?
Well, it's very obvious, but one thing I think is very obvious as well is that Ronda Rousey's return has been very underwhelming.
I know people have shared that on the Discord as well. I think the main reason here, I will blame whoever it is that's been telling Ronda Rousey to smile and be a nice baby face. Because let's face it, Ronda Rousey is a badass who can kick people's asses legit, right? That was her whole aura. That was her whole mystique. Now you bring her in and she's smiling and she's not great on the mic. Let's be real here. You know, she's not like The Rock that, you know, she can come in and win everybody over with a promo. No, she comes in with a promo and it's just like obviously scripted and she can't really deliver it. And it's just weird. And like, was it last week or this week? They left her in the ring for so long by herself with a mic, with no Michael Cole, with nobody there to like sort of host her. I was like, oh God, this is painful.
The best interaction I think she had on the mic since her return was that Michael Cole interview, that the one where they were both in the ring.
Yeah.
And she had someone to bounce off of, you know?
Yeah, because Michael Cole, he's done this before. He can be the one who lists the accolades. Because, okay, as a face, you can't go out and list all your accolades. You sound like an arrogant person, right? So that worked. And then, like last week, she came out there and delivered like a half-ass promo, right? Because, like I said, she's just a little bit like Brock Lesnar. The less they say, the better. Because they're legit badasses. Don't take the mystique away by having them talk.
Yeah. Even if she wants to like be the baby face, doesn't mean she have to be all smiley. Like, I think she can be an even scarier baby face if she just retains her like badassness and kind of be an asshole back to Charlotte. Yeah,
like, okay. So, and that brings me to the whole, like, that's 2 weeks in a row that Charlotte has had the upper hand on Ronda Rousey. You know, there's the one where she slammed her on the hood of the car and then fish hooked her mouth. And then this past SmackDown put her through the table. So it's, to me, quite obvious where this is going. Because, like, Charlotte has the heel thing down perfect. Like, she is smarmy. She comes across as better than you. So, like, you know, it's perfect, right? I think they're really trying to pile as much babyface heat onto Ronda as possible by having her like get destroyed every single week leading up to WrestleMania, so that when obviously Ronda wins at WrestleMania, it'll be a big moment, no?
Yeah, man, I just had like the craziest idea to like really push their hype, but I don't think WWE will go down this route anymore because this is not like Crash TV Attitude Era WWE. But if it was, right, you know how I would make Ronda Rousey a sympathetic babyface?
Oh, how?
She's back. She's a mother, right? Get Charlotte to kidnap the baby lah.
Wow. Okay, no. This is some Attitude Era Vince Russo booking. Who's your mama?
No, like think about it, right? Like, okay, the only way to bring out the vicious side of her, right? Yeah. Is if she knows her baby is in danger, right?
Yeah, quote unquote threaten the baby. And maybe that's what will happen next week on SmackDown.
So like Charlotte can just say, you know what? I have my baby. You want to take my baby away from me? I'm going to take your baby away from you.
Oh, God. Oh.
It's crazy. It's fucked up. But you know what? Like that will give enough reason for Ronda to turn into this crazy badass. Like a protective mother, right? Yeah. Like a mama bear. Yeah. You don't threaten my family. Or I'm going to destroy you. And like, they will definitely boo because like, it might make Charlotte come across as unhinged. Yeah. A bit crazy, right? Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, that aside, like you said, there's no way they're gonna go there. So
I know. But tell me it's not more interesting than whatever they're doing right now.
Of course. Like they could have been doing 1,000,001 things that's more interesting. But right now, like I said, everything seems to be like, okay, we have the main event set. They're all big names already. Let's just like cruise control there. Switching over to the Raw side. Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. That's supposed to be one of the matches, right? So I don't know. I just saw on social media, you know, the attack on Bianca Belair means she's indefinitely not suspended, but indefinitely out of action. So is that them trying to create drama and suspense so that when Bianca like next week goes, I can do it, you know, put me in the match, I don't care, even if my throat is broken, blah blah blah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like Becky apparently is what exacted revenge on her for like getting whipped by the hair and that kind of shit. So like they're trying to create intrigue and but the problem is, right, it goes back to the same thing. Like the matches are all set. there is no others. Like for example, right? Like I like when those Rhodes WrestleManias where the matches were not confirmed until like 1 or 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
Or like they had to fight to get to the match.
Yeah. So to me, that's what they're doing, and or maybe it's me being quote unquote, I've watched enough wrestling that I can, sort of guess that, whereas everybody else, the mainstream viewing audience, might be, I don't know, intrigued by something like that. Or is it just the Bianca Becky Lynch feud is just not that hot?
Well, the thing is that they've been trying to push this feud since last year's SummerSlam, right? When Bianca had that like shocking loss, and people were like outraged, like why she lost so fast. Like this is a full circle moment. Like we all want Bianca to win that title from Becky Lynch, but my problem is I think Becky Lynch's heel character is definitely not as hot as her man character.
Yeah.
That's one big problem, number one. And then secondly, we've kind of seen this before from Bianca Belair. Like her challenging for the title. Not that she's not over, she is over, but like there needs to be a different way of pushing her to the title match.
Like I was just thinking back on, like, you talk about Becky Lynch's face run, it was very organic. Remember when she finally snapped and slapped Charlotte, and I believe that that shit was intriguing because there was the backstory. The fans really wanted Becky, but management didn't have it in their plans, and so it became organic. In this case, I feel like Bianca's push wasn't really organic. Like, you know what I mean? There isn't this groundswell of but she's already won at WrestleMania. It's not like she's been quote unquote held down again. So that and this goes to WWE not being able to create a new star.
Yeah. Well, they tried.
Also, they tried. Yeah.
They tried. I mean, I think Bianca Belair is already a star thanks to whatever that's been done to her this last year.
I would say that she's a star on the level of a Drew, on the level of a Big E, and not a star on the level of the man Becky Lynch, Roman Reigns, Charlotte Flair. I would even argue that this current Becky Lynch is not the star that the man was, like you said.
Yeah. I would say like the most popular girls on the roster right now are actually in the tag team match, like Sasha Banks. Even Naomi actually was getting more popular thanks to the Sonya Deville thing, but that just kind of died.
Yeah, and didn't they make it like a 4-way now? So they added Natalya and Shayna Baszler, i.e. we have no match, so we dumped all the women there just to give them a match, which is great, but also at the same time it's like, wow, so it's a 4-way tag team match for the tag team championships. Oh dear.
I guess better than the Women's Royal Rumble. Like every year they just throw in the Battle Royal. At least it's better. But like you said, all these tag teams are thrown together. Yeah.
None of them is like the Iconics or or something like that. It's like even Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, I suppose.
Aesthetically, they kind of look good together.
No, but even Naomi and Sasha Banks, since when? Okay, then Natalya and Shayna, since when?
Wait, this wasn't Naomi and Sasha part of like when they had the women's revolution, when they all started coming together, and they debuted. Are they part of like the same group?
Were they? No, I can't remember.
PCB was the Paige, Becky, and Charlotte.
Yeah.
And then they had like the Nikki Bella with like Alicia Fox and all the Bella army. And then there was Naomi, Sasha, and like I think Tamina or some shit like that.
I remember.
The first time when like Stephanie McMahon brought all of them from the main roster.
Yeah, you're right. So that actually makes sense. I think I might have just been getting back into pro wrestling at the time, so that didn't really stand up to me.
So there is history, but like I said,
but they haven't played up to any of that history.
Yeah, like I said, the problem is they're building it up like 3 weeks out from WrestleMania.
Yeah.
If it's RK Bro, at least okay.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Where is Tamina? Speaking of Tamina. Oh no, she's busy with Akira Tozawa in the 24/7 division having romance angles.
That's where she belongs So let her be
Oh dear. Well, maybe they'll have a 24/7 match. Dana Brooke and Reggie and all that stuff. At least something
throughout WrestleMania, like backstage, I don't mind.
Yeah. Did they build AJ and Edge?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you see Aegis or hear Aegis' new theme song?
Oh yeah. So that was this week. Yeah. So he comes out in a suit, like, you know, obviously he's a heel now. He has to be all suited up and different and shit. Like, I don't know. I still don't buy it. I know he cut a promo and he's doing his whole acting thing, but I couldn't. We just saw you with your wife. Like,
it's
beating
too
the
much
Miz.
of a departure.
Yeah, like, not too much of a departure, but too soon of a departure. Like, if he disappeared for a month, like a couple of months and came back and did this, I'd be like, okay, at least like something like. But we literally just saw him at the Rumble, was it, or was it the one after the Rumble?
No, that was day one, right? Day one. No, Rumble was when he fought with. No, okay, day one was when he fought the Miz one-on-one.
The wife with the wife.
Rumble was the one with the wife.
Yeah. Like that, it seems like that just happened and they were all smiley and hey. Yeah.
The thing is, right, like I felt like you're right. If he returned after his hiatus from fighting Seth Rollins, right? And then became this character.
Yep.
I think it would have had enough time to kind of organically grow.
Yeah.
But do you think that it's too much of a risk to change your character right before WrestleMania?
Yeah, of course I do. But the whole point is because they wanted this quote unquote dream match, so you couldn't have AJ Styles go heel at that point, and maybe Edge just wanted to flex his acting chops, and he was like, you know what, I can try. I'm a good actor. I'm gonna, make everybody believe.
Yeah, maybe because they think like, oh, if you're just gonna be face, like what conflict is there gonna be?
Yeah.
Like how gonna make it interesting? Which is like the problem that Charlotte and Ronda having right now, lah.
Yeah, and it also goes to the fact that AJ is kind of because he just came off a shit feud. He's not coming off a high. Let's just face it. He just came off jobbing to Omos.
He needs to be built up.
Yeah.
So actually, I would say that why not make AJ Styles heel? Because I thought he was a great heel.
Yeah, like have him really just snap after this whole Omos thing and bring back his edge. See what I did the edge was
nice.
Anyway,
but the best meme I've seen from the whole thing, right, was apparently they said that Edge stole Undertaker's blue light.
Oh, hey, he retired already. Okay, give me the blue light. Give me the blue light.
Take the blue light. And then another one. Fucking funny. I think this is a promo joke. That one I show you on YouTube. He said like, okay, because Edge is doused in blue light, right? And then he came out to music, right? But they didn't play the music that he played. They played the Eiffel 95. I'm blue, double D.
Is he gonna give people a blue bath next? Like,
I don't know, man. But I would like to say that I can get into it, but it needs more time. Because when he said like, I judge you from the top of my mountain or whatever it is, right? Feels like something that Dr. Manhattan would say. You know Dr. Manhattan?
Yeah. The Watchmen, right?
Watchmen,
so we are about 10. So there's one more Raw, one more SmackDown to go before WrestleMania. So
two more. This week's Raw and SmackDown and next week's Raw and SmackDown.
Is it? Wait. Are you sure?
Because WrestleMania is not this weekend, bro.
No, exactly. WrestleMania is the first weekend of April, right?
Yeah, so when you say there's one more week, there's two more Raws.
Oh, yeah. Correct. You're right. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I guess 2 weeks is enough to build back up AJ Styles.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the ones that stand out, I suppose. Kevin Owens and Steve Austin, they're still doing the whole thing. Probably the worst reason to have an interaction. I hate Dallas. Okay.
Well, if it becomes a match, then it's a terrible thing to do. But if it's just gonna him coming out and just beating the shit out of Kevin Owens, I think that's fine.
Do you think every other Texan wrestler will come out? JBL, Shawn Michaels, freaking everybody just might as well just spam everybody lah.
You know what? If he's going down that route of like attacking all these Texan wrestlers, right? What's the biggest Texan wrestler that's out there, and it's his Hall of Fame anyway?
His Hall of Fame.
It's his Hall of Fame induction this year anyway. Gong.
Oh, Undertaker. Right.
Yeah. But that would have been interesting. Like all the Texan wrestlers, including Undertaker, come in and fucking all do their finisher on him.
Yeah. No, I think that would be a moment. Like, I forget that Undertaker is from Texas. Because, obviously the Undertaker is from Death Valley. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Death Valley is in Texas.
Apparently, right? But would it be weird? Because like Stone Cold is supposed to be the biggest star in this quote-unquote program, right? So if you have Undertaker overshadow the whole thing, it might not be, you know.
It might overshadow because like, then it wouldn't be about Stone Cold.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't put it past Stone Cold. Like Stone Cold says, I don't want to be just the only guy performing and give the shine to other people as well.
Yeah, well, like I said, you know, I think that maybe he physically cannot like do a proper brawl, like a full-on brawl. I mean, he's had, you know, so many years of issues and injuries and stuff like that, right? So yeah, I think it makes sense for it to be a case where every Texan wrestler comes out. So Kevin Owens eats a sweet chin music, spinneroonie, axe kick, and then Stone Cold Stunner to top it all off, and then dong.
Yeah,
would that be
and
too
then
much?
The whole time, Stone Cold can be running his mouth on the mic and like, oh, you want to run down on Texas? Yeah, I'm gonna give you a big old Texas ass whooping, and then like all the
since it's 2 nights, right? Like maybe the first night. Actually, the Kevin Owens thing's his first night or second night?
First night, apparently. Apparently, it's the first night main event, bro.
What? Kevin Owens and Stone Cold?
Yeah.
Main event? No lah.
From what I read, first night, that is what they putting as the last match.
Cannot. There's not even a match.
That's the thing. So that's why people are speculating, is it going to be actual match?
No, it's not. Unless like things change. Okay, well now that's a little bit more intriguing. No lah. Or maybe it could be a thing where if they do that as the last segment, let's call it a segment, right? Then maybe whatever the title match is on that night is going to end with the heel winning. You know what I mean? That could be a huge giveaway.
If it's a heel winning, most the matches would be the women's matches on the first night. Both
is it
women's matches?
Okay, so then you have a heel win. Then to send the crowd home happy, then you have the KO show at the end of WrestleMania. You know, then Kevin Owens gets his ass kicked by all these Texans, and then boom, stunner. And finish, fuck off. I just thought of something interesting though. So like we said, you know, you have Booker T beat him up, you have HBK beat him up, then you have Stone Cold beat him up, right? And then instead of dong, you hear keep rolling. Biker Taker comes out on night 1. Then night 2, then Undertaker dong comes out. Huh? Best use.
Undertaker's dong comes
out. Wait. I didn't mean it like that. But you know what I mean? It's like the 2 different versions of Undertaker show up on night 1 and night 2.
It'll be very appropriate. It'll be a very fitting way for the audience to pay tribute to Undertaker
and his dong.
And he will rest in peace at dong. But I mean, this is of course hearsay and rumor. It's not confirmed, you know. But I am low-key, happy to see Stone Cold back in any form. Come on, it's Stone Cold.
I honestly don't think he should have a match. It's like, you know, Shawn Michaels' last match was the Saudi Botch Mania. Like, you know, it kind of ruins his legacy a little bit. So
honestly, if it's just him coming out and brawling with Kevin Owens all over the arena, but it's not an official match, but he just beat the shit out of you. I think it's great.
Yeah, just beat, and back into the ring, stunner, boom, crowd happy.
Done. Drink beer.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so there's that. AEW, very quickly, did you want to see? Okay, let me just start it off by saying the CM Punk MJF thing is over. CM Punk wasn't even on Dynamite, was he? I can't remember. I think he wasn't.
He wasn't on Dynamite.
Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley, they are off doing their tag team thing, which, you know, it becomes a smaller focus already, right?
Yeah.
It made, how can I put it this way? I think you know why I'm going with this. It made this week's Dynamite like, okay, so there's more of the nonsense and less of the serious stuff. Which,
it made it missable.
Yeah, it made it very missable. Like, I enjoyed the Chris Jericho, I'm a sports entertainer stuff, like, but I'm a Chris Jericho mark. That's just me. You know, I know a lot of people are like, what is this roll eye nonsense? And then he re-Christianed 2.0 as I don't even know what their names are, damn long.
They really give him his real name, their real names.
Yeah.
But it's just that he gave them like nicknames to their names.
Yeah, and like they were so convoluted, I don't remember what they are. That's the problem. So I'm like, so is he just basically trolling AEW fans? That's what he's doing now.
But I love it though.
Okay,
I thought it was hilarious that he's calling himself a sports entertainer.
Yeah, no, I think it's great, sort of like inside, like, you know, jabbing at the AEW fans. It works, and he knows what works. Everything else was missable. And I'm sorry, but Hangman Page, AEW World Champion, missable.
Bro, one thing I need to talk about Chris Jericho though. Has he been going to Yunnan hair care or not?
Yeah, bro. His hair, I think he's been going to the same salon that his wife goes to. Like, it looks like, you know, like...
They're luxurious, bro.
Luxurious, like nice blonde and silky smooth. I'm like, yo, I think him and his wife are both enjoying the same treatments on their hair.
Yeah, so if I look at him from behind, right, I was like, oh, damn, that's a hot blonde. So.
And well, he's still a hot blonde. It's just, you know, it's Chris. And not Christine.
Mean, okay lah, depends on where you swing, but he is he's looking good lah. The purple really suits him.
Yeah.
Speaking of people taking Undertaker's gimmick, he just stole the purple wardrobe for Undertaker.
Sure. But okay, like, doesn't anything else really jump out? No,
okay.
Right?
Well, the main event was Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker.
Sure.
So we had a title change there. But the thing is, I'm not really a big fan of Thunder Rosa.
I was going to say I'll tell you why, but that sounds a bit presumptuous. I will suggest to you why.
Why?
Because we've seen them bleed all over the place already. This is once again back to their booking. They're not building things up. This, like, they go about everything ass backwards. They already had a lights out, bleed everywhere match. You know, now you put them in a cage. It's just one of another gimmick bloody match to a point where you're not building any anticipation. You know that they can work. It's just like seeing, okay, you know what it's like? It's like seeing a fucking Michael Bay movie. After a while, you get desensitized to all the explosions and cool visuals and stuff like that, and you're left with a very shallow story.
Yeah. The thing about Thunder Rosa is that I like her babyface fire. You know, she seems like a pretty cool person and stuff like that. But I just hasn't been invested in her story because like for example, even Naomi, I wanted Naomi to defeat Sonya Deville because there was like that constant build up, right?
Yeah.
But like after the Lights Out match from last year, she just went away and did her own thing. And then only recently she fought in Revolution against Britt Baker, and that one also it was just it kind of came out of nowhere.
Okay.
And then,
you know what AEW booking, best booker of 2022. You know what Tony Khan booking reminds me of? GM mode in WWE 2K22, and I'll tell you why. GM mode, right? I noted, like, I'm trying to build rivalries up. Meanwhile, my opposition is like on SmackDown, tables match, TLC match, Extreme Rules match. Like, the fuck? You know? Like, that's what it seems like. They're just throwing every gimmick match out there to make that moment special, as opposed to building it over long. There's no long-term planning. Like, but of course, AEW nut huggers and Tony Khan nut huggers are gonna be like, look at the MJF CM Punk. That one is MJF and CM Punk taking the reins, driving the shit. Okay. Yeah. And maybe Tony Khan is letting too many people take control of their own storylines. Not everyone can build a storyline over a long period of time or know how to do it. That's why, like, maybe he's too nice to everybody, if that's, a thing that we can say.
Apparently, from the way he deals with talent, is he has this issue that he a bit too nice, right? He wants to avoid confrontations, but he does shit behind people's back.
Ooh.
Have you heard the interviews done by Joey Janela or not?
No.
Joey Janela.
Bro, why would I? Who cares about Jelly Janela?
Man, I have too much time, bro, being in COVID.
Okay.
But Joey Janela gave an interview to this this girl on the internet. She does interviews, Denise Salgado.
This girl on the internet, okay.
But apparently she's a pretty legitimate
reporter,
pro wrestling reporter, because she always appears in all the post match conferences, blah blah blah, media scrum, right? So she interviewed him, and then they were talking about GCW stuff. Which is he's more involved in right now, the Game Changer Wrestling, right?
Yeah.
And then he talked about how, and in his exact words, AEW has essentially been ghosting him. Bro, ghosting, this is like a relationship. They just stopped contacting him.
Because they don't know what to do with him. They realize he's like, meh. Didn't like Chavo say something similar as well? So okay,
same situation, yeah.
So maybe that's the case. Maybe Tony is like, oh, now I have the proper wrestlers in CM Punk and Bryan Danielson, all that stuff. All these like fellas that we needed to run a promotion in the first place. They all can just slowly, we quietly let them go.
Essentially that's what he's doing. Like Joey Janela said, his contract is coming out on May 1st.
Yeah.
He has heard no news from AEW on whether he's going to renew or not renew. Even if they're not going to renew it, like at least someone would courtesy text him, we're going to let it run out. Like nothing, no radio silence. So essentially, he is saying that AEW has terrible talent relations. Like nobody is communicating anything to the talent. The ones that they don't want to work with.
Who is their talent relations? That's the question.
That's the thing. I don't think they have one because maybe it's really Tony that's trying to do everything.
Yeah, well, maybe Tony needs to have a JR, JR was back for the WWE. I don't think he wants to do it now. It's too much stress for him, right? He's comfortable doing what he is.
But somebody needs to be able to like have a go-to for the talent, right? So, that they can be communication with.
So what you're saying is they need somebody to actually physically call them and future endeavor them, is it?
They need a John Laurinaitis essentially. And another person that apparently has been ghosted, and the reason why you don't see him on TV anymore is Marco Stunt. Because in the same interview, in the same interview, Joey Janela is like, sometimes I just wish they talk to us. Like even Marco Stunt has been getting the same treatment. Yes.
Well, I mean, see, okay, to me that's on Tony. Like even if Tony is like, okay, I have nothing for you guys now. Tell them that. Let them be able to plan stuff and do stuff, Yeah. Maybe you're right. Maybe he's that sort of like, I just want to be the nice guy to everybody. I can't be the bad guy. Which goes to Vince McMahon, and he's had so many more years of experience of dealing with people like that and stuff like that. So it goes to his skill set. Well, that's a different story altogether. Like it's like two ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. Not that anybody wants to see Joey Janela and Marco Stunt. Don't get me wrong. Of course, I think they've done their part. And I think it's time for them to move on. But it kind of just shows like there might not be such a perfect, happy situation in AEW as well.
Well, there's no such thing as a perfect situation, especially now that you have more talented people come in, So it's very interesting to see like where the Young Bucks gonna go. Like, are they gonna stick around? Now they are no longer like top dogs, top creatives. Like, are they gonna continue to have free reign over the tag team division? Now you got the Hardys there.
EVP nothing but name because I feel like there's so many other talents that I want to see on top in the tag team division, right?
Didn't Chris Jericho say that? Like, fuck it, don't give me the name, give me money. I don't care about this.
Yeah, that's what he said, and it's smart of him because at the end of the day, the real boss is Tony Khan. Yeah,
that goes to the experience. Like Chris Jericho has been to the dance before, WCW, WWE, that kind of thing. So like he
pay
knows
me my
what's
money
up.
And then let me do whatever I want.
Yeah. Meanwhile, people who haven't done it before, like your, Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, they're like, oh, EVP, okay, sure.
I know where Young Bucks gonna go next.
ROH.
Control your narrative.
Oh my god. I don't care as long as they, get off my TV screen.
No, but cannot go control the narrative because apparently CNY, one of the rules is no top rope moves, no moonsaults, no super kicks.
Hey, you never know. Maybe they might become really good storytellers.
Yeah, maybe they need to go through CNY for proper seasoning.
Like they're forced to not go use or overuse their like crowd popping moves.
You know what's like the biggest tag team rumor I've heard from AEW recently?
What's that?
You know FTR recently fired their manager, right?
Yeah.
So there was this one backstage segment on Rampage. I know you don't watch Rampage. I was watching Rampage, where like they both came to face. Young Bucks came face to face with FTR, and see, like, you guys haven't been doing jack shit lah.
Yeah.
And then like he said like, doesn't matter if you fire your manager, doesn't matter if you get the best manager in the world, you will never get on our level, blah blah blah. And then there was this look that FTR said, the best that ever was. And then they look at each other. So then now, there's rumors that they might actually bring in Bret Hart as their manager.
Oh my gosh, for FTR.
Yeah, for FTR.
I don't know what to think about that.
It's a lot of information to digest, to be fair.
Yeah, but still, I see the connection. But also, they saved Bret Hart during the Hall of Fame. Remember? The Hall of Fame, some asshole attacked Bret Hart.
Oh, yeah, but they were one of the people that protected him, right?
Yeah, they went in and fucking beat up that guys, yeah? So, okay, it makes sense. But at the same time, though, they buried FTR so hard, I kind of don't care. And I know, Jim Cornette shits on the Young Bucks all the time and says that they purposefully buried FTR because they know that they are a better tag team. But I really wonder if that is the case sometimes, because, just look at the tag team division. It's the shits. They only work well with people who do the flippy shit with them and, who have no chance of really overshadowing them, honestly.
Yeah. Well, FTR is going to have a great matchup coming soon. If you saw the announcement that they're going to be part of ROH, their supercard. So I think there might still be a spot for FTR, but as long as Young Bucks is on top, I don't think they will get that shine in AEW.
Are Young Bucks even on top right now?
Behind the scenes, maybe.
Okay, well, you mean behind the scenes, right? Well, I mean, I'm thinking if Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley start running roughshod, and maybe they're like, we want to fix the tag team division. You might see the Young Bucks just get super jaded because they're no longer in charge of what originally was like their baby. So it could be interesting
Danielson
times.
And Moxley versus FTR for the titles, huh?
Shit, bro, that shit will look good. You know that shit is going to be amazing. With
William Regal one corner, Bret Hart another corner.
Yes, sign me up for that. Bring back tag team wrestling. Meanwhile, the Young Bucks and Adam Cole and I feel so bad for Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. They are legit. They look like they have legit wrestling pedigree. They can put on a good match, but they're involved with all this Adam Cole nonsense. Unfortunately.
Do you feel Adam Cole has been tainted though by being in AEW? Like your perception of him?
Yeah, 100%. And this goes to maybe Triple H seeing someone like Adam Cole and going, all right, the way to make you look good is put you as a faction leader, make you ruthless and not do bullshit and lose to, what's his face?
Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy, yeah. And oh my God, don't even get me started on Orange Cassidy. Every time I see Danhausen in their corner and he's very evil. I'm sure a part of the audience feels like, oh, I'm in on the joke. Yeah, but to the mainstream audience, to someone like me, and you can tell JR is verbally rolling his eyes. You can hear.
JR is not a fan.
No, it's what the fuck? As if Orange Cassidy wasn't enough. Now you have one magician. I don't know, he's putting curses on people. I don't get it.
That's why I like that Wheeler Utah was teasing that he might join Regal instead.
Yeah. Here's the thing. If they spent some sort of time even explaining what this Danhausen bullshit is, there might be a chance of getting him over. Remember the Hurricane?
Yeah.
At least he had backstage promos and interactions and he kind of explained what is going on. A more recent example would be Nikki ASH, even though that was a bust eventually. At least there was a reason. Danhausen literally is okay, we take this internet famous thing, plonk it there and expect you to understand.
Yeah, but nobody knows the context.
No.
Unless you explain to the audience, right?
Yeah, but who's going to explain it? Excalibur? Nobody's listening to that guy.
Tony Schiavone just repeats everyone else's words.
Yeah, and then JR just verbally eye rolls the nonsense. So
I remember something Tony Schiavone said on commentary, which I fucking rolled my eyes.
What?
I can't remember. I forgot which wrestler. But then he was saying yeah, me too. I also got a lot of kids. It's tough. you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't remember which, but some wrestler was talking about him having to take care of his kids or something like that.
Was it MJF talking about having ADHD or something like that? And
yeah. Then he was saying I also have a kid with ADHD. It's tough.
He's trying so hard to relate. He's that old uncle who's trying so hard to relate, yo.
To be relevant, yeah. So funny, man.
Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, that's my gripe about AEW. Now that certain feuds have calmed down, blown over. It wasn't very interesting to me, Dynamite. It was a lot of nonsense, a lot of
even Wardlow, whatever happened with Wardlow during the Scorpio Sky TNT match, MJF came into the picture.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I was but man, I still wish it was MJF and CM Punk having a thing.
Yeah, I mean, they can't have a thing for that long, lah. So I understand they had to move on, and it's Wardlow's time, you know, and they played it off. Yeah, I get it. I don't understand why Paige Van Zandt's husband is there.
Yeah.
This really looks more like, you know, hey, bro, I can I be on the show? You know, like sort of a like friend with Tony Khan.
Even him making out with her wasn't that hot. Like you were just okay lah, make out.
Is it you jealous?
No, I don't really care, man. I'm not a PVC fan.
Oh, okay.
That way.
Okay. But yeah, you're right. Like him making it, like, why? What was the point?
Yeah,
like,
it's not as if like Wardlow's gonna get like
jealous.
Angry.
Yeah. There was nowhere in the history where Wardlow had a crush on PVZ or something like that, right?
Okay,
no.
I mean, unless if it's like Scott Steiner and Stacey Keebler doing a lap dance in front of Tess, then Tess get angry. I understand.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
There's storyline there.
So this is another case of them or whoever is booking this shit, letting them do whatever they want to do, and it's just like a lot of it doesn't make sense. Come on, guys, just give it some reasoning, just a little bit of reasoning, and I'm fine with it. Just don't throw rubbish out there.
I think AEW treats their fans too highly, and then WWE just treats them like they're too dumb.
Yeah. So is this weird? Like you're right, one end to the other, right?
Yeah.
But just watch the ex-WWE guys, the successful ones, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Chris Jericho, and you can immediately tell the difference between their programs and the other quote-unquote indie guys and their programs. Like,
yeah, definitely. And that's the reason why you watch it, right? You watch it for the good stuff.
Yeah. And you tolerate the bad stuff. Well, unfortunately, this past week was more bad stuff than good stuff.
Goes up and down, I guess.
Meanwhile, Raw and SmackDown is all bland stuff, which is another problem. You know what was the most interesting show this week?
What?
NXT.
Really?
Because,
NXT for you?
Look, bro, you know I'm a Dolph Ziggler nut hugger. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of DC and Robert Roode as well. And now that they are sort of quote unquote the main focus with Tommaso Ciampa in the mix, Braun Breaker we all know is a star. There's proper, serious, good workers and good stuff going on there, right? And you tolerate the bad, good with the bad, and there's a lot of nonsense as well on NXT. But you can excuse it because we know that they're all green guys. They're all like quote unquote developmental force to be on TV. Whereas on AEW, you expect everyone to be, of a certain level already, I feel, because they've been doing it so long.
Yeah, but in a way, you kind of should be thinking the other way around because AEW technically have more green guys who are like haven't had the WWE run.
Sure. But I mean, they are on like their main show already. You know what I mean? It's to me, Dynamite should be on the level of a Raw at this point. But,
I know, I get what you mean.
Yeah, so it is what it is. I mean, Stand and Deliver looks to be very interesting. So the divide is interesting to just sort of like when you watch NXT, you can obviously tell they're trying to aim for this young hip crowd with the lingo and the way it's presented. So I really just wonder, like what's the deal there? Like do they really think that, okay, like this brand, they're aiming just for the kids, right? Like their packages are all like, I text you, you text me, text appears on the screen, sort of like whoop, whoop. It's a very like, oh, okay, you're catering to 15-year-olds here.
I mean, I thought, but they're trying to sex it up as well,
no,
right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Like, the kids love the sex appeal, obviously, like Mandy Rose. I mean, not kids, but you know what I mean, teens.
Okay, fair enough. Like, I get what you mean. I saw some of the vignettes. I saw some random, Ciampa's not going to fight Tony D'Angelo as well? Yeah,
okay, so Ciampa came out and did his whole like, I've had an amazing time in NXT. So obviously he's being called up to Raw, right? So then, he's like wants one more match or something like that. And then like Tony D'Angelo challenges him one more match at Stand and Deliver. And then, freaking attacks him. And that's how they're setting up that match. So
yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm only watching it for the main event. Maybe a bit of Toxic Attraction, a bit only lah.
A bit, huh?
Other than that, nah. I mean, AEW I'm still AEW, very, very, not say pro AEW, but like AEW is the only TV show that I can sit through, like, and have my attention fully on the show.
Really? Fully throughout the show?
Fully. Even the fucked up shit, I can still somehow find enjoyment in it.
Right, because it's so like ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous, or like I just know that after this is gonna be a great one.
Right.
You know?
I don't know. Like a lot of times when certain people come out, I immediately like, okay, let's do something else. Or I even fast forward if I'm watching it, after the fact, which I usually watch after the fact.
Yeah, but okay. But at the end of the day, I think right now, since it's WrestleMania season, I just hope, and I know it's a bit too late that WWE picks it up, but like the Cody Rhodes thing is the thing that's gonna. We gotta like dive into it because apparently it's official, but is it?
It's official according to the dirt sheet, so it's about as official as toilet paper at this point, okay? Like these rumors, and at some level, I feel like, WWE also will troll the internet crowd and release official things. But, okay, the fact that Seth Rollins is still opponentless lends credence to the fact that, yes, it could be Cody. I'm surprised they didn't debut Cody at Jacksonville, which, he might get a huge reaction there. Because
especially it was Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins as the main event match.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes,
That is, to me, other than like the main like matches on WrestleMania, this is the thing that's intriguing me the most. Will Cody appear? Will Cody not appear?
I don't know, and maybe it's just my relationship with Cody through the years. I kind of don't care anymore, Like everything with Cody is a drag. After a while, it just gets tedious, and even waiting for him to debut is now tedious.
His reputation precedes him already, bro.
Yeah, like I feel like maybe it could be a case of he's debuting so late because of contract negotiations. He wants more, he wants less, blah 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 blah, whatever it is.
I don't think he's debuting so late. I mean, I think the plan has always been in place for him to appear at WrestleMania. But I think what WWE is trying to do is kind of make it like a surprise open challenge thing where he just appears out of nowhere.
So tease all the way till the end lah.
Yeah, it's basically like John Cena and Undertaker lah.
So what are the odds of them teasing them talking about John Cena, Undertaker, teasing it all the way till WrestleMania itself?
I wouldn't put it past that. I think that's the plan.
So what? Seth Rollins comes out, runs his mouth, nobody, blah, 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 nobody. But then Cody comes out like... So, a more recent example would be like, the Hardy Boys making their return.
Yeah.
Like, do you think Cody will get that kind of reaction? Not that kind of reaction, but like, I really wonder what the reaction would be. Will it be, oh my God, it's Cody? Or is it going to be, oh, that guy?
That's the thing that I think I'll be very curious to see as well. Yeah. And maybe how WWE books Cody depends on his reaction at WrestleMania.
Or his booking will depend on his reaction at WrestleMania. It could be the other way around where he shows up at WrestleMania and then the crowd goes mild and then, oh, sorry, down the card you go, fucking Stardust.
I wouldn't put it, but because like I think Seth Rollins will be the perfect first opponent for him. He can come across as this all-conquering babyface. Oh, I just returned to my company, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
beat him the first time, and then that big promo that he's gonna cut on the Raw after WrestleMania is where he determines what the fuck he's gonna be doing with his life.
As long as he doesn't take like 10 hours to do this promo that he's workshopped and talk about like his mixed race baby and all that kind of stuff.
He might try to end racism some more on this promo lah.
Okay, well, more power to him. I can't wait to. Well, actually, I can wait. I correct myself. So, yeah, to be honest, at this point, just don't have him debut at all until WrestleMania.
Yeah, just let him appear at WrestleMania, bro. He will still come earlier than Veer, bro. So it's fine.
No, Scully, really, Seth Rollins, he's in the ring and then he's doing his open challenge and then everyone is expecting Cody, right? So the crowd just starts chanting, Cody, Cody. And then it's Veer.
Yeah, finally arrives.
At WrestleMania. Oh my God, that would be the ultimate troll. Can you imagine?
Actually, that would be damn dope though. No, like that would be like the red herring. Like he comes first. And then isn't that what happened with John Cena? John Cena also, Elias came and disturbed him first.
Yeah.
Then after he beat out happy, then suddenly Cody appeared.
So what you're saying is you drop Veer out?
Yes, clearly.
Oh, come on, man. After so long. Well, can you imagine if that's the payoff? You tease Veer for how long? Half a year? A year already?
Definitely it seems more. Since October, I think.
Yeah, it seems like a fucking millennium. But you tease him for so long only to have him job to Seth Rollins in about 5 minutes so that Cody Rhodes can come out.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. Bro, that is perfect storytelling.
Bro, no!
I mean, you will insult all the Veer fans lah. I mean, all two of them lah.
Yeah, to have watched him on main event.
Yeah, so bro, I think it's perfect. I mean, it will give Veer the biggest round of his career.
Yeah, okay.
Think about it. It'll probably be bigger than he's ever done.
Bro, Scully Veer is the bodyguard of Cody.
Oh, why they putting all the Indian men all as bodyguards? Right?
I don't know. It seems like you can't really talk. Actually, I don't know if he can promo.
Isn't him talking over the promos? Him talking?
Okay, one recording doesn't mean like he can memorize a line. You know what I mean? Versus actually cutting a promo. Like Grayson Waller has a big Indian guy as a what's his name? Not
Shanky, right? I don't know.
But you know what I mean? He has a bodyguard like that. Shanky don't know disappear where already.
He not with Jinder Mahal, man. Jinder
Mahal is he poor thing, no? Not only did he get assigned to a Jinder like who never shows up, like you get tagged with a guy who never shows up, so that means you never show up. So poor thing.
He did kind of show up on SmackDown, like he had a 6-man, but yeah, it's nothing lah.
Yeah, okay. Like Commander Aziz, also another one. Oh, we're gonna team you up with Apollo Crews.
Nothing has happened since.
No, he jobbed to Omos.
I saw the match. Yeah. I saw the match.
At least Omos got tagged with AJ Styles. That one main event guy, right?
Yeah.
Just imagine the creative comes to you. You are going to be working with Jinder Mahal. Oh fuck. Shanky's like, oh fuck.
Apparently, this Omos Commander Aziz match actually got some traction online.
Really?
People actually were interested in watching them fight. Like, oh yeah, that was Omos's best match on the main roster.
That's not saying
better
much.
Than against AJ Styles, by the way.
What? Stop. I obviously need to go back and watch the match. I skipped the match. 100%. I skipped I'm pretty sure everyone skipped the match as well.
You don't even have to lie about it, bro. I also skipped. But I watched it because when people talk about it, it's like, oh yeah, it was interesting match.
Was it good?
Bro, it was just one move that was like very impressive. The rest is all just like Great Khali and like
so
Big Daddy V.
The internet is trolling lah, as the internet usually does. Okay, there you go. Seth Rollins will face Omos at WrestleMania. That's my prediction.
No. Seth Rollins versus Veer. That's my prediction.
Cody will just not show up. He will show up and control your narrative. You just watch.
He will stop doing Tope Suicidas and Canadian Destroyers.
Scully, he show up at NXT 2.0.
Why?
I don't. Stand and deliver, Cody Rhodes, and then he does a 20-minute promo.
I will win the Dusty Cup by myself
for my race and every race and whatever. Anyway, yeah, and racism. Okay, so there you go. Like, we didn't want to do a full preview, but we kind of previewed the fuck out of WrestleMania in a way.
It's okay. Not really. I mean, we talk about it.
Yeah. Next week
Things might change next week.
Yeah, next week we got Stand and Deliver in WrestleMania to talk about as well. So we'll get to that. In the meantime, though, okay, the man you have been waiting for is here. Let's go and chat with him right now. I'm excited because his movie is out in cinemas here in Singapore already. You can go and check your local listings. Oh, I've never had the chance to say that. Yeah, check your local listings.
I mean, it's worth saying. He's one of the biggest pro wrestling stars out of Malaysia. Now he's a movie star. He might be international star soon.
Yeah, Gila Gusti is the name of the movie. If you haven't heard about it yet, well, we'll chat with him about the movie, also about Booker T and how he's potentially working with him. Very exciting things. He dropped a tease on social media recently, and then we'll let the man speak for himself now, okay? Here we go. The man of the hour. It's Shaukat. And look who we have here with us today on Kick to the Gut. Shaukat, welcome to the show, my man.
Thank you for having me once again. It's an honor to be here with you guys.
For sure, to steal my bro's line.
Yo, man, I can't believe it, man. It's been a year? Because we remember you were like our guest earlier in 2021 when you just launched APAC Wrestling. It's been over a year, right?
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, how has the journey been for you guys so far, man?
I think for the past year, APAC has been doing amazing. But the only thing that is stopping us from growing to our fullest potential is still the pandemic thing. We are unable to do live shows. We are not able to bring in guests from across the border. But I think things are starting to look up because from what I've understand is that the borders might be open soon as the 1st of April. And if that happens, it means it's just due time before we actually do a show with guests and everything.
Yeah, man. It's like we can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, personally, I actually hosted an event, and to see over this past weekend, and to see live crowds for the first time in 2+ years, I mean, I legit got emotional, bro. So like for a performer like you, I'm thinking that definitely is going to be a moment, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, I still remember back then when I did the AWE thingy, and that was also first time in a very long time since we had a live show. So when I went out there, I still remember getting very emotional when I was cutting my promo.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure this time will be like 10 to 20 times more than it was before.
Yeah, man. And one thing I love about APAC is like, despite the challenges, despite the pandemic, you guys have managed to consistently like keep up with like interacting with your audiences, keep putting up shows online. Like, what was your strategy to like kind of counter the lack of live crowds? How do you keep them engaged?
I feel like the best thing to let people know that we're still alive and kicking is to always churn out content. And besides that, I also feel like downtime does not mean it's time for us to rest or it's time for us to just lay low. But downtime is the part where I do all the work so that when time comes for us to kick off, we can kick off with gusto.
That's that hustle mentality that you have. I love it. So, okay, this is very interesting because I remember a while back, we just set up our Discord channel to all, these pro wrestling fans, they come together to talk about it. And in fact, it was the folk in our Discord channel that alerted us to this, right? It was a tweet, I believe, and a tweet from APAC Wrestling that involved a certain five time. You know where I'm going with this. So, yes, what can you tell us about this collaboration or perhaps a working relationship with Booker T?
All right, so I think when the video came out, our main intention was to create buzz in a sense where it's more of a teaser, keep people guessing, like, is Shaukat challenging Booker T or is it something else? But that was the main aim, just to get people to think that we're actually going to have a match or something, which is still not impossible on the road, I can tell you that. But the actual thing that is that I made an announcement like 2 weeks back, if I'm not mistaken. This that myself and Booker T, we are collaborating on APAC Wrestling's Pro Wrestling Academy, and basically what will happen is I'll be playing the head coach for this region, and Booker T will be the mentor, and he will be looking after all of my students as well as their progresses, and he will give his personal notes on how they can improve, and even during graduation. Touch wood, if let's say, for example, if his schedule allows, he will fly down himself to pass them the certificates.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So in a way, is it like you guys are almost like a feeder system or like a offshoot of Reality of Wrestling, and you guys have that collaboration in that sense?
Yeah, I mean, one of the business deals that we have with ROW is the fact that ROW will be the window of opportunity for Malaysians or Southeast Asians who train at APAC Wrestling Academy to have their American debut. Basically, it's like a platform for them to, if they're good enough, if Booker T is happy with the performance, is happy with the whole package, then he will fly them down to ROW himself and give them their US debut. So I think it's a huge deal for those in the Southeast Asian region. If you guys want a window of opportunity to wrestle in the United States, and if you guys want to learn pro wrestling TV style or the style that is used in Western wrestling, and the one that is using a syllabus that is taught by a 2-time WWE Hall of Famer, then it's the perfect place to be.
So in terms of training, and if people who are very interested, either in Singapore and in Malaysia, right? Like, what is the system like now as it stands? Pandemic and everything.
As for now, we're still setting up and doing renovating on our new school. It'll be a lot bigger with a bigger ring, and it will actually look like a small arena it's like the APAC arena you have now, but it's a lot bigger than it is. Nice. And at the same time, once that is done, which I am foreseeing to be happen by May, and once that is done, that is when we will do our official first intake. And the whole training system will last for about 6 months minimum. And from there on, if those who are able to graduate, then they will get certificates co-signed by myself and Booker T.
Nice.
Yeah, so anyone right now from around the region, including here in Singapore, can like send in auditions or apply to be part of your academy?
Definitely, anyone from any part of the world, from any country, as long as you can commit to our classes for like about 6 months, then you can definitely sign up and train with us.
Bro, foreign how? Every weekend we drive down, once the lanes open and everything, we train. How about that?
Bro, I tell you, somebody who's listening to this podcast right now probably is thinking about uprooting themselves. Okay, come guys, let's stay in KL. 6 months, let's make it work, bro.
Oh. I mean, if I were a lot younger and if, I didn't have commitments, I think, this is definitely a huge opportunity, especially for somebody who is a fan, right? Like someone who's watched it for a long time and maybe you want to try this out. This is massive, and to have someone like Booker T with years and years of experience to sort of be that mentor figure. Wow. That's all I can say.
I remember like in our previous interview, right, Shaukat, you talk about how you have been in talks with Booker T, and actually Booker T wanted you to come over to Reality of Wrestling and train with him. On top of this collaboration, do you foresee yourself like potentially having opportunity to actually go to the US for extended period of time and do that training?
Most definitely. I think Booker T is already interested to sign me to ROW in that sense. Nice. For me to be a performer, especially now because he has his own national TV slot as well. Because ROW now is on national TV in the States. So they need a deep roster, and I'm one of the person that he has in mind. The problem is he tried to apply working visa for me twice now. I think one was in September and one was in February, and both times he got rejected by the US Embassy, mainly due to the pandemic reasons. They cannot. There's like a quota that they can allow in, so on and so forth. But still keeping my hopes up. I'm still training and keeping myself in shape because they're still going to try to attempt to bring me there anyways. And I think it's just a matter of time before I can actually set foot and make my debut in ROW.
We are really, really proud of that possibility, and we are pretty sure that will happen because on our side, like we've seen one of us, Dante Chen, make the splash, make the move over to the US and be on TV over there. Like for you, do you see like that's like your end goal still to like from ROW to eventually make it to NXT, WWE?
I think I'm honestly like any pro wrestler in this world. I'm pretty sure on their bucket list or their end goal is definitely the WWE, mainly because WWE has been around the longest. He has the most amount of eyeballs on the product. It has about 40 million of followings on social media. So it's like, and it pays a lot, to be honest. And it's like the perfect place you want to be at if your dream is to become pro wrestler. I'm pretty sure like they can tell you like, I don't want to go to WWE because I want to work in AEW, or just want to go to New Japan because that's my style. But I'm pretty sure if WWE were to offer them like, hey guys, do you want to sign under us? I'm pretty sure they would say yes without in an instant, without thinking in a heartbeat.
Right.
So I think like for me, honestly, my end goal is still WWE as well because being a performer, I want my craft to be seen by the most amount of people in the world. And what better platform than to be on the WWE itself?
Right. Well, I mean, talking about being a performer, and now you can add, one more thing on that huge resume of yours, like pro wrestler, movie star. I mean, how does that sound, first of all? Okay, talk us through the whole setup and how this movie came about. Of course, Gila Gusti, right? What does that, somebody translate that for me.
Gila Gusti, if you literally translate it, it pretty much means WrestleMania or WrestleManiac. So that's where I got inspiration of the title from, actually, from WWE's WrestleMania. Just translated it to Malay.
Perhaps my translation skills a bit off lah. By Singapore, Malaysian Malay to Singapore Malay, because I keep telling people it's crazy about wrestling.
Yeah, because Gila is like crazy, right? Or mania, which makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. The thing is just a different choice of words, but it still carries the same meaning.
Same spirit lah. Same spirit.
So, okay, how did this movie start about? Where was the seed born from?
So basically, the movie, when we were doing it, the thought of creating Gila Gusti, there was no thought whatsoever on trying to monetize it or make money out of it, because we know the show business is very difficult, especially the film industry, and especially if you put those who are not A-listers or unknown names on a film, it's going to be very difficult to sell. So one of the main reasons why we created Gila Gusti was just to put APAC on a map. It's like advertising, but in a very bigger scale kind of way. Because what better way to introduce APAC Wrestling to the mainstream audience other than to throw it in cinemas? Because everybody knows about it. The trailer is being played before the Batman. It played even before Spider-Man. So like everyone knew about Gila Gusti, and people started following APAC Wrestling, and our fan base started to grow like individuality, each one of us as well. And I think it worked in a way because after Gila Gusti, the trailer is out, the film is out, there were a lot more sponsors and investors who approached us as well, which is the main reason why I made the film in the first place.
So essentially, you thought of this as a vehicle for exposing pro wrestling in Malaysia, you know, to the mainstream audience lah. So in a way, this is your brainchild lah.
Yep, true. That's the main aim, is to put in more eyeballs on APAC Wrestling.
Bro, like I'm super impressed by like the amount of stuff you are doing just for the pro wrestling industry in Malaysia right now. You know, like all this stuff is basically coming from you. Like, do you have time to rest and do other things? Because it must not. I mean, okay, maybe you had the downtime during COVID and everything, right? But like I'm thinking, you know, the hustle in not just training, right, putting on shows, even if it's like, you know, your closed door shows, that kind of thing, but also filming a movie, conceiving a movie, scripting. I'm sure you have a hand in all of that, right?
Yeah, for Gila Gusti, I wrote the script, which is actually based off of Ready to Rumble, if you guys have watched it before.
Oh, okay, yeah. What's that guy's name?
David Arquette.
David Arquette.
Yeah, the former WCW champion David Arquette. There you go, yes.
Yep. So basically, I enjoyed Ready to Rumble as a kid. But then when I started learning filmmaking, started learning directing and screenwriting, I noticed there's a lot of flaws in film. So it's basically my way of paying homage to that film by taking it and trying to tell my version of the story and make it be a little bit more meaningful and a little less corny and dirty for a family fun experience.
For those who are not really aware of Ready to Rumble, or those who want to know more about Gila Gusti, like can you tell us like the script without like spoiling anything for people who are wanting to watch the movie?
So basically, it's about two fans who believe that wrestling is actually true. Like they believe in their heart that pro wrestling is like real. It's not scripted. Okay. And their idol, Naga, which is played by myself, he lost a match due to some political exchange backstage. And ever since then, they've been trying their best to find a way to get Naga to have his rematch. And everything kicks off from there.
Okay. And of course, Naga, I mean, in English it means dragon, right? Do you have a reason behind choosing that name? Is it a homage to any wrestler that we might want to share?
There's two reasons why I created Naga. The first one was it was actually my birth year, 1988, is the year of the dragon. And second, obviously, it's an homage to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, one of the strongest Asian influence in WWE back then in the days.
That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. And on top of that, you talk about like the fans, right? One thing that caught my eye, because when I saw the trailer, even some of my friends like recognize some of the mainstream actors that you actually had to be involved, like Elizabeth Tan, Shafi Nazwi. How did this? How do you get to know them, or was it some people that you've already known previously?
Yeah, I mean, like I've been in the film industry for about 13 years now, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And all these guys are just people who I've worked with before, and just thought that they would be a perfect fit to help us push the film a little bit more.
Awesome. Yeah. Is this like your first feature length like starring role? Because I understand you were used to work like more towards the stunt team, but in terms of like full scale acting, is this like your first big role?
I would say this is actually my second, but this is the first to be released cinematically. The other one is still in post-production. It's called The Dark Eye. That is meant for OTT platform. Cannot reveal yet which platform it will be, but it's a major platform. Awesome. But I would say this is my second, but definitely the first to be out in cinemas and in 3 countries.
Nice.
Do you see a lot of parallels between what you do as a pro wrestler and being a movie producer, you know, putting the storyline together and finding angles and stuff like that?
I think one of the best things about being in the show business as well as in pro wrestling is you find out that there's similarities in both of them. And like, for example, the way I treat pro wrestling now is strictly like a business rather than fashion or sports. And that's exactly how I grow APAC Wrestling. in a sense where on the days that we're not doing shows, that is when I'll be meeting potential investors. I'll be meeting potential sponsors. So it's like, I do understand the concept that if you knock on 1,000 doors, probably only one will say yes to pro wrestling. So like every day I would always arrange to meet at least like 10 to 15 people for me to just approach them with the idea and hoping that they will catch the bait. So far it's working. It's just about putting in the work and growing the business.
How has the response been from non-wrestling fans, people who didn't know anything about pro wrestling or APAC wrestling after they watch the movie? Have you had some early reviews from people that you've talked to?
I think that so far, based on the film alone, the reviews had all been good so far, because people are not expecting much when they walk into the film. They just want to go there and have fun, and apparently that is what the experience that I gave them. And it's a very fun, family-oriented movie, and people are just talking all good things about it. But at the same time, online, especially the netizens, they can be very toxic in that sense. But we all wrestling fans and pioneers are used to it. It's good because so far our trailer alone on TGV Cinemas is one of the biggest platform in social media for cinemas in Malaysia. So the Batman has only about like 60,000 views, but Gila Gusti is close to 400,000 views.
Wow.
So there's a lot of haters and they're sharing it, but everyone is getting to know about the film, which is good promotion for me.
Yeah, that is awesome. I mean, it's crazy to know that for something that they don't even know about, they have a lot of things to comment, right?
Well, I mean, that's the power of doing something that's very local and very to the heart, right? It's relatable in that sense. And I think, look, at the end of the day, we all can relate to some sort of fandom at some point. We were crazy about this thing and that thing. If it wasn't pro wrestling, it would be, like Marvel or something else. So like the two characters that you have, right? Like you said, they're like super fans of your character. And I think it's one of those journeys that the whole family can go on along together. So guys, go check out Gila Gusti. It's out in cinemas in Singapore already, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's out in cinemas. And the one thing I'm really interested in as well, right? You're not just promoting like APAC Wrestling as a whole, but you're actually helping to put some of the wrestlers on the show and featuring them on cameos. Like, can you share with us some of the wrestlers that you're actually promoting?
Srigala is in North Phoenixton, Gotham, Poppy, and I think like it's actually like 80% of the APAC roster is in the film. They all have cameo roles. I try to put them in according to their schedules, and I think that is also one of the main reasons why I did the film, was mainly to make celebrities out of our wrestlers, because I do understand that it's show business. If these guys are famous, then they'll become draws, and if they become draws, we'll sell more tickets. So that's the idea behind making them superstars as well.
Awesome. That's really, really awesome. Yeah.
Nice. Yo, I can't wait to go check it out. I know Fora and I have a date to go check it out, but because he kena the big C, we had to postpone it to next week. But yeah, man, we can't wait. Is there anything else you want to say to the fans here in Singapore, fans of APAC Wrestling, fans of pro wrestling in general, as it regards the movie?
I think if you guys are a fan of pro wrestling, you would definitely appreciate the movie. Although it's heavily promoting APAC Wrestling, but in general, there's a lot of things that you can relate to, in a sense of if you are the fans, you can relate to the two fan characters. If you are someone in industry, you can relate to Naga and his friends and the political struggle backstage. It's a very fun movie. It's very lighthearted. It's nothing deep, nothing serious. It's something that you can go to, just enjoy the ride to the park. It's that kind of movie. So try to give it a go, and I'm pretty sure you'll be very happy with what you see.
Nice. Look, in times like these, we need a light-hearted movie. Let's be real. Like, the Batman was great, but it was 3 hours of just, darkness and brooding, right? So, yeah, go watch that. But also after that, you'll need something to lift you up. Gila Gusti is in theaters right now. Go check it out. Can't wait to check it out, my man.
Thank you so much, Shaukat, for being here. And one last thing I wanted to ask you as well. Like you said, April 1st, April 2nd, the borders are opening up. Can we see Shaukat here in Singapore soon?
It depends. It depends if there are promotions there who's going to call me. I'd be very happy to make my return to Singapore.
Wink, 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 wink.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like you might never know if APAC want to do a show in Singapore. As well, and if the borders are open as well, I think we could do show here in KL or Johor, and you guys can come down as well. So there's a lot of ways that you could see Shaukat and the APAC wrestlers on stage again.
Shaukat, if you are in JB, you guys are doing a show, call us up, bro.
Road trip. Let's go. Shaukat, I know you're very busy. Thank you so much for taking the time out to chat with us, being here with us as well. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend.
My pleasure too. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Shaukat.
There you go. Shaukat, once again, thank you so much for joining us on the show on Kick to the Gut here today. Always great to catch up with the guy, huh?
Yeah, man. Bro, I miss having interviewees on the show. It's great to talk to him. He came back last year. He had his first interview with us last year, and this year as well. So it's a yearly thing, I hope.
Absolutely. So you got to see him here. Go see him on the big screen. Gila Gusti is out in cinemas right now. Personally, we can't wait to go catch it as well. In the meantime, though, thank you so much for joining us here on the podcast today. As always, if you're listening on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts and all that, we appreciate you tuning in. Why not drop by the live stream when we do it live every single Monday, 12 noon. Today, obviously, we had to do a bit of a recording because, we had to chat with Shaukat. Also, Foreign is feeling a bit under the weather. So, my bro, please go and get rest. You're going to kick COVID in the gut.
Of course, bro. I gotta recover. I gotta catch myself some Gila Gusti, bro.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's a bro date. Next week, we're going to watch the movie together, huh?
Yeah, bro date indeed.
And of course, as always, please go and join the Discord. Join in the conversations. A lot of pro wrestling conversation, not just WWE and AEW. I know you guys are super into like the New Japan stuff. I don't know what other federations there are. Sometimes I look at it and go, huh?
I mean, I love the Discord. The Discord is its own universe, right? It's a KTTG universe on its own, man.
Heck yeah. So if you can't find, maybe we're not an expert in New Japan. I mean, I'm obviously not, right? But you will find somebody else who is. Chat with them about the latest happenings on your favorite pro wrestling federations.
Yeah, man. If you want to pledge your support on Patreon, please, we'll appreciate any amount, and we'll give you exclusive content over there as well, including some WWE 2K stuff, which we are going to have in the works after WrestleMania.
Absolutely. As you can see, the Patreon shout-outs right there. Get your name on that crawler, yo. Shout out to The Shadow, Div Royalty, Christian for, supporting at those Patreon levels. We love you. But we love you too. Even if, this is not something you're comfortable with right now, hey, we appreciate that you're here with us. Help us spread the word. The Kick to the Gut gospel. Oh my God, all of a sudden I feel like power of positivity.
Bro, as long as you power of positivity, you don't become a Mordecai or those, all those like crazy wrestlers, evangelistic wrestlers like Seth Rollins as well.
I'll stick to, it's a new day. Also, get well soon, Big E, huh? How about that?
Get well soon, Big E, RIP Scott Hall. Well, WrestleMania season is coming up, man. Let's hope that in the next 2 weeks, shit is gonna pick up. Business is gonna pick up.
Oh, yeah. Business is picking up. It definitely will. And if it doesn't, well, business will pick up for us also because then we have stuff to shit on.
Yes, of course. No matter what, we will be here every single week. WrestleMania next week, can't wait.
Oh, yeah. WrestleMania preview, Stand and Deliver preview. It's going to be a lot of fun. So once again, thank you for being here. Have yourselves a great Monday, a great week ahead, and take care of ourselves. I can't even speak anymore. God damn. Take care of yourselves.
Yeah, bro. You take care. I take care. Everyone take care.
It's Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building.
Kick to the gut. I like it.